Welcome to the Childcare Business Coach podcast with Evelyn Knight, where mindset mechanics come together for success. Evelyn Knight is the leader of the ECE revolution and is on a mission to touch 1 million children's lives through the elevation of the ECE community.
Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to join me. I am so thankful to you. I know how busy everybody is and how valuable your time is. So I just want to start off by saying I have so much gratitude for each one of you that actually takes the time to listen to me talk. And I really hope that I bring something to your week every week that is uplifting and really just improves your life, because that is my ultimate goal. For those of you who are new to me, my name is Evelyn Knight, and I thank you for taking your time every week. I am the Child Care Business Coach, and I'm the founder and CEO of Child Care Business Professionals, which is a company that is out to touch 1 million children's lives by helping owners and directors really learn the business of childcare. You can actually turn a profit, not be at your center 60, 70 hours a week, and put the children first. It is possible. So today I want to ask you a question. Do you really want to quit? Is that really what your heart's desire is? Or are you just tired? Are you just tired and you don't know what to do? I have been talking to so many owners lately, and the theme seems just the same thing. I keep hearing from owners who want to sell their childcare centers. They keep telling me that they're done. They want to sell. They have other ventures they want. And some of them do. Some of them just have a new calling, or there's just something that they've always wanted to try that now they want to step into. But do you really want to sell? Or directors, do you really want to quit? Or are you just overwhelmed? That's a question that you really need to ask yourself and dive into your heart and just really ask yourself, is this what I really want? Or do I not know how to juggle what I really want? Is that really the problem? I've been working with so many directors and owners, and the owners will hire me many times to help them figure out an exit strategy. We start putting things together to help them to make their childcare center marketable. And we get all these systems in place. We help with their financials. We make this like a turnkey business so that the next owner can come in, take over, and you can sell your center. But what I'm finding, and the reason that I decided to do this particular podcast episode, is because I'm finding that that's not really what the owners seem to want. In fact, I'm finding that as we fix their center and we create this atmosphere where the owners can step away, the owners aren't stepping away. They're realizing that they can have their cake and eat it too. They can actually create a business that isn't so time consuming, that doesn't need them there 24/7 or even 40 hours a week. A lot of my owners are down to 3 to 5 hours a week, like I am. And they're finding that their centers are fine without them. So they can keep their babies. A lot of us talk about how our centers are our babies. It literally is like it becomes our child. And we can keep our baby. And there's an and. We can still pursue other dreams. I'm a childcare center owner, and I own this company, Child Care Business Professionals. It is now an international company with an international customer base of owners and directors out there who just want to learn how to be great leaders. I've also picked up a public speaking career. I actually have my second TED Talk next month. I'll be flying to North Carolina to do a TED Talk next month. And every month almost, I have a different speaking engagement somewhere in the country. And not all of them are even about early childhood education. I love to help women find their life's goals, and just to see that they are so much more than they ever thought they could be. I know I was that woman once who didn't know what I could become. I thought that was for someone else. I always thought, well, they can do it, but can I? And now I know I can, and so can you. So for those of you who are thinking about quitting, and it can be so many things that you're thinking about, I want you to open your mind to the possibility that maybe there's another opportunity that you haven't seen. A few weeks ago, I recorded an episode that was about problems, about how we so hyper focus on problems that we stop ourselves. We literally hinder solutions because we are so focused on the problem. I really encourage you to go back and watch that episode and bring it into this one too, because what I'm asking you is to open your mind to opportunity. I do a lot of coaching. As you guys know, I will always have some kind of coach. Right now, I'm working with a personal development coach because I know when I work on me and I make me better, then I can become a better leader and I can take on more and more, and my life gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And one of the things that my coach keeps telling me is that awareness is the key. When you're aware, it opens up so many possibilities. When you're aware, suddenly you have a choice. And what I want you to know, if you forget everything else I say today, I want you to know that you have a choice. When your heart feels torn, you may not be able to make payroll. You may know deep down inside that you don't know what you're doing as an owner. And as I say that, your brain's going to fight it, right? You're going to say, no, I do know, but it's the economy. It's the teachers. My parents can't afford to pay. They just don't pay their bill. I can't afford to charge enough. I have to pay too high wages. Your brain's going to give you all these excuses, but in your heart, you know, they're just excuses. When I say that and you become aware, suddenly it opens up all these new opportunities. And the beauty of that is that a lot of times you don't have to quit what you love. You don't have to walk away from the career you love just because you don't know that there are other options. We always hear you don't know what you don't know, right? But until you step into the world of opening up to opportunities and that awareness, you're stuck. But there are other opportunities. I've done it. I was once married to my child care center. My husband used to teach me that he felt like he was the other man and that my child care center was my husband, or that I was having an affair with him basically because I was there so much, right? I was at my child care center 60, 70 hours a week. I was letting my children down because I wasn't there for them as much as they needed me. And I knew at that moment I couldn't sustain it. So my first thought was, I'm selling my center. I can't do this. And my first business coach I ever worked with, I actually hired her to give me a way out. And this was about 10 years ago. I hired her and I asked her to help me set up my program so that I could be out in 18 months to 2 years. I didn't want to just shut my doors, and I didn't want to cheap sell my program because my family had put everything into it. And I just felt this huge obligation. I didn't want my family to lose everything because of me. My house was on the line. Everything was on the line. And I didn't want to be the reason that my family would lose it all. So when I started working with her, I asked her to literally help me set up a plan so I could get out. I just wanted an exit plan. I didn't care. I was going to go get a normal job like everybody else. And I knew I could make a very healthy 6-figure salary with my degrees and my experience. I was going to leave ECE completely. But that's not what my heart wanted. It's what my head wanted, but it wasn't what my heart wanted. My heart desperately wanted to stay because I know that's what God called me to do. ECE is my absolute calling. And God sent that business coach into my life that I will eternally be grateful for, because it helped me to see it wasn't the business. It wasn't the economy. And this was after the 2008 economy, that 2010, 2012 period that was so rough. It was worse than it is today. I realized it's not that my staff is awful and I can't afford to hire quality people. It's not that the job pool is pathetic and that I have to hire millennials. It wasn't that parents don't like paying their bills. It wasn't that parents can't afford to pay what I need them to pay. It wasn't that all of the excuses, right? I made them all to myself too. All of the excuses you tell yourself, I used to tell me too. Through that process, I realized it wasn't all of that. It was me. I loved ECE, but I didn't know how to run a business. And when I learned that, I realized I was creating my problems. All of the things I was placing blame on, the disdain I had for my childcare center, that was all me. It wasn't the center. I'll never forget the day I sat in the parking lot of my center and I just started to cry, and I cried, and I stared at that building and I couldn't walk in. And I begged God to release me. I begged God, don't make this my calling anymore. I can't do this. Why did you bring me here? If this is my calling, why is it so hard? And I just cried and I cried and I asked for relief. And through that journey, and now it's kind of funny because last week I found one of my old journals and I was reading it. I felt really bad for myself. I looked at it as, and it was actually even older than this period of time I'm talking about now, but I just realized there's so much we just don't know when we're younger, right? Even today, some of you are there today. Some of you right now are the girl I was 10 years ago, or the woman. I was a woman. I wasn't a girl then. Some of you are that woman, and you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And I can tell you, the best thing you can do for you is to align yourself with people who have figured it out. Jim Rohn once said that you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So I want you to look around and take note. Who are the 5 people that you spend the most time with? And it could be virtual as well. It have to just be the people in your physical presence, right? Where they are in their life today, the struggles they're facing, who they are, that's what your life is going to be like if you don't level up. There are other options. You don't have to sell. You don't have to quit. You don't have to do a career change. And even if you want something new, like I did, you can have both. It is possible. You just need to learn how. And the only way you're going to learn that is by up-leveling the community that you're in. Because if you stay around the same people, around all of the same information, how are you ever going to be aware that there is something else out there? That there are other options and other opportunities? Awareness is step 1. When you're aware, the door starts opening to opportunity. When I created Childcare Business Professionals, part of the reason I did it is because I know how lonely it is to be an owner and a director. You feel like an island and nobody understands, especially for you owners. I know it is so lonely. It is so lonely. Your director doesn't understand what it's like to have all of those paychecks on your shoulders. Most of your husbands don't understand. Your mom, your kids, nobody understands. I know, I was there. A couple years after I started working with my first business coach, I realized that I wasn't alone anymore. And that to me was the most valuable thing. Even after everything I paid her, just the fact that I had someone in my corner, it was huge for me. And that's part of the reason I created Childcare Business Professionals. It was one of the biggest motivating factors. It's because I knew I could be that person for someone else. I could create a community where we could come together so that other owners don't ever have to feel like an island. It is a very lonely, Hard place to be. I know. I can remember it so clearly. It's still painful thinking about it. It's still painful thinking about the time I sat in my car crying and begging God, begging God. I didn't know that he wasn't going to release me from my calling. Instead, he has shown me that my calling was even bigger than I ever imagined it would be, that I owned 2 childcare centers at the time. And I had no idea that what he was asking me to do was so much bigger and that I would end up being involved in hundreds of childcare centers. I had no idea, but I'm so thankful that I didn't give up. I'm so thankful I didn't follow my instinct to quit and to go get a normal job like everybody else. I'm so thankful I persevered, because now I know I was so hyper-focused on my struggles and my problems that I wasn't looking for the solutions. And I know that in my heart, I really didn't want to quit. I really didn't want to lose my center. I really didn't want to walk away. I really wanted to be there, and I still do. I love it. I just didn't want to struggle so much. I just didn't want it to own my life. That's what I didn't want. I wanted my center. I didn't want it to own me. I didn't want that job to own me, and it did at the time. So if you're in that position now, you need to start working with us. My members, if you still feel that way, get on calls. Book calls with my master coaches. I have put together a team of amazing master coaches that can help you every step of the way. I literally just started a new master coach, a couple of them actually, that can teach you how to be remote owners. One of our new coaches, Tara, she lives in Florida and her center's in New York. Both of her centers. She owns a couple centers. So not only is she a multi-site owner, but she's a remote owner. You dream about getting away, you want to live somewhere else, or maybe you just have to. I have somebody who can help you with that. My girls are willing to jump on the call with you guys if you want a consultation. I really want to help free you. I really want to help free you. I want to provide the freedom that was provided for me. And I know God has called me to provide that for so many of you. So really listen to your heart. Get out of your head and feel your heart. Just feel. What is your heart telling you? Do you really want to quit? For you directors out there, we also help directors learn how to automate so it's not all on your shoulders. So that when you leave at the end of the day, you leave work at home. We teach you how to get real help, how you can turn your team, the team you have today, they can be a dream team when you learn the leadership skills necessary. I was once upon a time also an owner who walked into my center one day, and I was so frustrated. I looked around and it was messy and it didn't smell the way I wanted to smell. And I'm very particular. My staff will tell you guys, I'm very particular. When you walk in my front door, I want it to have a certain feel. I want it to smell a certain way. I want it to look a certain way. And I will walk into that lobby. And if it doesn't, I'm just like, why is this here? Why does this look like this? Why does it? But I've trained my staff, so I never have to do that. I never have to come in. And now when I walk in, it always looks, smells, and feels exactly how I want it to look, smell, and feel, because I've put systems in place so that I don't have to be there more than once a week, more than honestly once every few weeks. And it just happens. It just happens. And directors, you don't have to be married to your center. I just started my director working from home 2 days a week. She's at the center 3 days a week. I don't want her there more than 30 hours a week. She doesn't need to be. There is no reason for my director to be there more than 30 hours a week. She is a better director when her mental health is being prioritized. When I know she is showing up as the best version of her, than if she's exhausted, burnt out, and angry. Like I said, I walked into my center one day and it wasn't what I wanted it to be. And my first thought was, they all need to go. I need to fire everybody. I just want to start over. I'm so sick and tired of them. The only two people I wanted to keep were Brandy and Alana, who are now my director and my assistant director. Back then, I was the director. They were literally the only two I wanted to keep. Today, it's like probably almost 10 years later, I have a lot of the same staff. A lot of those women are still the same people. Through a series of events, I realized it was me and my leadership, not them. I have an amazing staff. They were amazing women. And thank God he showed me that it wasn't them, it was me. I needed to become a better leader so that I could help these women be the amazing employees that they truly are. But I was leading them in the wrong direction. It freed me so much. And now I'm an owner who this week I was at my center for about 2 hours. That's it. And one of the hours I was in the classroom playing with children. Wasn't even working. Actually, maybe worked 30 minutes. Well, that's actually not true because we also Zoomed. So I worked probably about an hour and a half. And that's really what I do. It's not as bad as you think. It's not as overwhelming as you think. You don't have to lose the center you love. You don't have to quit the job you love. You can pursue other avenues and careers. You can get your sanity back. You can be there for your children and your husband. You just don't know how. And we want to teach you how. My staff is in the comments. Reach out to them. If you're one of those people, just say, that's me. That's me. And one of my staff members will message you. If you want if my girls, could you guys please just write in the comments right now who you are? Send them a private message if you're embarrassed to tell people that that's you. And I totally get it. I wouldn't have wanted the world to know. Part of the reason I created this company was when I got my business coach, it was so liberating for me. But my business coach was a general business coach. She didn't do childcare. So I took everything I learned and I made it childcare specific and then some. And then I got another business coach. I every time I just kind of up level, I go higher and higher. I got to the point where I was pretty much equal to my coach at the time. So I got my next coach. I looked for somebody who was above me. And that's kind of what I'm always doing. I'm always looking for that person. Right now, I'm on my fourth coach right now. And I basically look, once I become more on their playing field, I look for somebody leveling up and I level up and I level up. And that is what I want to do for you. I want to help you level up. So if you're still there and you want more for your life, maybe you want a life like mine. Maybe you want to become one of my master coaches. I am more than happy to constantly bring in more master coaches all the time. You go through my program, and if we see something in you, we will offer you a job as a master coach. You can ask some of my girls that are probably here today watching. I have a few of my clients that we've turned into master coaches. If that is your dream, let us know. Become one of my members. Work your way there. I will have you prove yourself, though. That is the one thing. But when you prove it to me, you can step out and do other things. There's so much. The world is huge out there, and there's so much more you can do. And you don't have to lose your center in order to do it. So let us know. We do want to help. God called me to help so many of you, and it is time. So let me ask you, is God calling you? Has he brought you here today to hear me? Because he's telling you it's time. Release yourself from the trap and the dungeon you have put yourself in. I put myself in a dungeon years ago that I didn't know. I was creating my own misery and I had no idea. Are you doing the same? Let us help you. I am so excited to get to start working with so many of you. I cannot wait for you to join our office hours. Every week we get together in office hours so that you can be in a community of women who know what you're going through. We also do weekly trainings, and I have hours and hours and hours of pre-recorded trainings that you can take and a ton of materials that you can take. I help you learn your 6-month onboarding program so that when you hire somebody new, within the first 30 days, they are assimilated into your program, and you don't have to be there constantly watching over them, frustrated that they're not learning. Stop doing the meatball method. Do you hire somebody new, throw them into the classroom and hope they stick? Just like you buy a bunch of meatballs, throw them on the wall and just hope they stick to the wall, right? That's why your turnover was so high. That's why I have a 6-month onboarding program. My new hire training is a 30-day intensive training program, which we train you on and we give you for your center. We have systems of operations for everything. How do you deal with potty training? How do you deal with biting? How do you deal with an angry parent? There's a system for all of that so that every single one of your staff knows what to do in every single situation so that you don't have to say the same things over and over and over and over. And that is how you're going to free yourself. You're going to train your staff to be you. I literally consider it duplicating me. I have duplicated myself a couple times. And I keep doing it, and I will keep on doing it. That way, I can have what I need to have with my childcare centers. And as I expand, I can do that and run this company and go out and speak. And by the way, that actually brings up another subject. I am looking for more and more communities to come into. I want to spread this message of the early ECE revolution. I am on a mission to revolutionize ECE, so that we don't have these really stressful times anymore for us. We don't need to live like this. And I want to bring this message to more and more owners. So if you would like to host a conference like a mini conference in your community, and I'm sorry, my phone is going off and I don't even know where it is. It's my watch. If you would like me to come down, I would be happy to just get a hold of my team and let them know. I am more than happy to come to you, do trainings with your staff, do leadership trainings, whatever it takes. We are more than happy. And we are looking for more communities to come into. So let my staff know we are happy to bring our trainings to you. I hope this has been helpful for everybody. I really hope to see some of you on tomorrow's coaching or our office hours. It is tomorrow. If you sign up today, we can get you in as soon as tomorrow. So I am going to challenge you. Get on a call with one of my girls today so that you can be in our community tomorrow. You can be on office hours. I can help you with whatever you're working on. I have brilliant women in my office hours that can also help you, not just me. Even if you just need to get on there and say, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of feeling alone. There's a lot of us who've done that. Even if that's all you need, you can be there. We will be here for you. Make us one of those top 5 people that you spend most of your time with so that you can start up-leveling your life. You are worth it and you deserve it. I hope to see you tomorrow in our office hours. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you for joining Evelyn today. For more information, please visit childcarebusinessprofessionals.com.